Gotta give them what they're here for. They're here to connect. They're bonded by blood.
It just elicits a response it's like no other.
We are the real representation of the Scottish heritage and the Celtic spirit that's out there.
Stepping out of the normal day-to-day grind, interact with their own culture, their own past.
A lot of people doing things I don't think they'd usually do, wearing things they wouldn't wear, they're just having fun.
Something almost magical.
To discover your heritage, I don't think it could get any better.
The Central Oregon Celtic Festival and Highland Games had a big turnout on Saturday.
Looking to attend a festival this weekend that involves kilts and Highland Games.
Speaking of the weekend, it's time to celebrate the Celtic heritage, recognizing Scottish. I found out that I was mostly Irish. That's something new.
I am Jane Ann Recker. I'm the Executive Director of the Celtic Cultural Alliance and Vice President of the Association of Scottish Games and Festivals. How hard could that be? I love what I do. I started tapping beer year number 5, and I have been here ever since. Celtic festivals are a whole different experience on another level. From sight, sound, smells, and taste. You have to be there to experience it. There's over 300 Scottish, Irish, and Celtic festivals across the country. People come from all over the US and Canada, basically all over the world.
I travel anywhere for the most part. I went to Alaska and Scotland this year.
Furthest I travel is over 1,000 miles.
We're from Roanoke, Virginia.
From Philadelphia.
Come from Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky even.
Florida.
Santa Barbara, California.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Central New Jersey.
How far do I travel? 5,000 miles, not a problem. We just go.
Try to get to as many as possible. If I can get to 5, I'm happy.
I usually attend 1 or 2 festivals a year, connecting to my roots, you know?
This is our 3rd year coming to Celtic Classic. We've become really big fans of it.
We do roughly about 3 tours a year.
I do about half a dozen festivals, Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland.
We go to pretty much every Celtic festival we can find.
Americans go to Celtic festivals, probably for a good time.
This is what it's all about, is building connections with people.
The food, it's great.
I want authentic Scottish and Irish food when I go to a festival.
I don't care what you say, haggis is pretty tasty.
My favorite thing to eat at festivals is French fries because it's always there, it's always available, and I know I can have it.
So we have some very traditional things like traditional Irish soda bread, Scottish breads, the Scottish strewn bread. Celtic culture is so giving.
Where else are you going to find pasties and haggis? It may be something you only get once a year, and it's delicious.
And then there's the shared love of a bottle. My
favorite part of the festivals is the music. The bagpipes, the accordions, the fiddles, all of it.
Music is a huge part of the Celtic heritage. Live performances at Celtic festivals have a very high energy level, and I think that's for a number of reasons. You don't hear that music very often, so you get excited. It's always up-tempo, even Celtic ballads. Those traditions and the stories of that tie this younger generation. Very important for the younger people to take part in this. This is how traditions and stories and the culture in general is passed down from generation to generation.
A lot of my family members engage with Celtic music quite a bit growing up. That was an early memory for me. Heavily Scottish on my mother's side. Engaging with Scottish music and that Celtic heritage really ties me back to my family.
I don't have the family connection. Mine is about community. People who have welcomed me into the Celtic community, and thus I've become part of it.
Kind of build community with the folks that come back here every year.
Pub musicians and Irish sessions go back hundreds of years. Most people who claim to have Irish roots will say, you know, when we go to Ireland, we want to go to a pub and experience an Irish session. And you may have it happening in your town, you just have to look for it. So if you have gone to a Celtic festival, you'll see there is what we call trad music, an Irish type band that would fit in a pub. They work in a few stories here and there.
The next day, she'll see him there with his new bride.
We have what we call Celtic fusion. It's a little on the trad side, but they're working in modern instruments or a modern tempo.
You don't like Irish music with the bumps and the foot tapping and everything, then I just don't think you like music, period.
And then we go into what we call Celtic rock.
They just come back to get that Scottish tribal music.
The whole crowd, you've got them, you know. We can pour energy on them and they give it back. Douse a little bit of gasoline out there. Fling the match. When Donald blows up that bagpipe and I hear that pipe, something deep inside me ignites and I'm off, I'm charging.
If they're coming from Scotland or Ireland, say, many of them will be on tour for 4 to 6 months and they will play what we call a festival circuit.
We do roughly about 3 tours a year. It's fun, you know. My early teens, I became really passionate about Scotland and Scottish heritage. Being able to have done what we have done, which is bring people to Scotland, bring tourism to Scotland, and introduce heritage to folk all over the country. People feel the music, not just hear it. It's priceless. That's the whole point of what we do.
To go around the United States of America and spread the culture and the heritage through bagpipes and drums. They want to be taken back to the glens, don't they? You're coming for that raw aggression where you can maybe shut your eyes and just be transported back 300 years into the glens, maybe when the clans were going toe to toe. That's what the listener wants when they come to an Albannach show. They want to feel the energy from the band. They're just lost in the moment. You're not coming to sit in your seat.
I am genuinely so honored to be a representative for the bagpipes. I have loved this instrument for my entire life that I've known about it since I was 12 years old, and I never thought I would be one of the people kind of on the front lines destigmatizing it and making it enjoyable for the general public, so genuinely honored. I think the average concert goer out here probably hasn't seen me yet before. They're probably expecting to see rock and roll covers, a little bit of chaos, and that's what I'm going to be doing anyway, so hopefully they're not disappointed. Being able to connect with the audience and see them be excited by what I'm doing helps to feed my own joy and excitement and enthusiasm for my love of music. And we are going to get a little crazy. I love audience participation. This is awesome. All right, so just in case you don't know the song, it goes like this.
Obviously, the movies of the Bravehearts and, that kind of thing, but we're the real representation of the Scottish heritage and the Celtic spirit that's out there.
This is how they prepared for war and strengthened themselves.
Being able to physically throw your implements. Everything's confined inside of essentially a 9-foot circle. So you need to be quick and explosive inside of 10 feet. You've got your stones, your weights, your hammers, sheaf and a sheaf fork, caber.
So there's amateur and pro, and within amateur there's A class, B class, C class. Athletes will travel across the country for the opportunity to participate in these competitions.
Every country around the world now has their own Highland Games festivals. You look at any major city, there's almost guaranteed to be a Highland Games at some point throughout the year.
You'll have lots of people come to Celtic festivals that have never heard of the Highland Games. They'll stop, they'll watch, and they'll say, "What is this?" Highland Games introduces people to another sport that they don't necessarily see on TV.
Athletes out on the field throwing heavy stuff around, which you're not going to see on ESPN.
You've also seen a big skyrocket in the amateur side because of Ancestry.com and 23andMe and all that kind of stuff. People are finding their ancestry and finding out that they're Scottish and say, "Oh, what can I do if I'm Scottish?" And they just hop in, they do a games, whatever. There's a home for you here in Scottish Highland Games. You get to see people do extraordinary things.
Nobody else does this. The anticipation and the build-up and the music and just the crowds at an event like this.
You can come and see and feel and touch the spirit of Scotland in these events.
When you're watching, you'll notice that the athletes are actually coaching each other, encouraging each other, and cheering for one another. And it's basically a brotherhood out there on the field, which is very cool to watch.
Oh, you are a true king, my friend. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, of course. There's almost guaranteed to be a group within a 2-3 hour radius of you. So you want to train, whether that's you want to volunteer, whether you're a vendor and you want to be a part of it, so much easier to get connected with this group of people.
The vibe of a Celtic festival it really depends on the weather.
95% of Celtic festivals are held outside and very dependent on the weather. We had several years where we actually caught the tail end of a hurricane and almost put us out of business. This has a huge impact on the revenue that the festival brings in. You spend a year trying to raise funds to make sure that that festival is going to happen again.
It was very wet, then it just picks up out of nowhere, and you're sitting in like torrential downpour.
The fact people are willing to brave this weather and walk around and potentially, get pneumonia.
Cold, wet, it's in my bones.
If the money is not coming in, it's not there to hire the performers that maybe everybody wants to hear. It's not there to have as many pipe bands as people would like to see out on the field. What do we do if nobody shows up or nobody has any money to spend? community got behind us, the city got behind us. 100 of the most amazing committee members said, this isn't going down on our watch.
A little rain didn't stop Celtic pride from beaming through Bethlehem today. The 2024 Celtic Classic still ran as planned downtown. They had all of the classics like Celtic food and drinks, artisans and crafters, and lots of music, including bagpipes, of course. If you missed out today, the festival runs from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, rain or shine.
Just good Scottish weather.
We're very appreciative of the people who do come out when the weather is not great or raining or sometimes absolutely terrible. We cannot cancel, we cannot postpone it till the next weekend. It has to go on. There are also small businesses that need to come back to that festival. These festivals have large economic impacts on the local cities. It's important for those hotels to be filled during that time period. If they are not supported and they go away, they may never come back. When you go to these events, make sure that you purchase something from a retail merchant, because not only are you supporting that event, you're also supporting a small business.
The whole idea when I started the business was to really blend together Scottish and Irish culture. We're all about trying to give people the full cultural experience, and the people love that. That's why they come. They are really looking for authenticity. All the product that we carry, 98% of it is the real thing.
Knowing that the goods I have really do come from Ireland and are made in Ireland, quality is second to none. They want the real thing. They are looking for a piece of home. And that's what we fill.
Tell me about your family. Tell me about your connection to Scotland, and their faces just light up.
What you're looking for is that level of authenticity, like how much they're connecting with the history of the item that they're selling, being able to take a piece of that authenticity home with you.
Whether they're coming from like an Irish or Scottish background or a more Scandinavian background, they're almost always bringing that up, like, my background is this, my background is that, my grandfather or grandmother was this or that or the other. They travel from far away to check it out. I love it. I love learning about people, love learning about where they came from.
I want to hear where they're from, and then I want to be able to correlate it to where I've been in these different places.
One of my favorite parts of doing in-person events is interacting with the people. I talk to people all day long, but I love that. Everything I make is something you would actually use on a day-to-day basis or could use. A lot of my work is drawn from mythology. It's a way of participating in the culture that you're passionate about.
All the sorts of vendors that you have around, it's just a celebration almost of Celticness.
We've gone back to our roots. Sweaters, knitwear, tweeds, obviously kilts.
You have a spectrum of people. You've got people that are dressed head to toe, traditional gear. You've got people dressed in different themes. You've got bagpipers.
It's very colorful. You never know what you're going to see. There's all kinds of different tartans.
Each tartan represents a different family.
I just put on the kilt and people know that I'm Scottish, or at least Celtic.
Comfortable, it looks good, women love it, they want to constantly, find out what's under the kilt.
It's beautiful, it's comfortable.
Gives you an opportunity to express yourself, make a fashion statement in a way that most people don't normally get to.
There's something in the look of seeing folk in kilts.
People wear these things with pride to connect with their heritage.
Go buy a kilt, listen to the bagpipes, puff your chest out. You're Scottish, you're Irish, you're Welsh. But if we don't have the festivals, we lose this fantastic vehicle to educate people.
Americans want to engage with their history and their culture. This is the perfect way of being able to do that. It's not the same thing maybe as going over to Ireland and Scotland, but it's a way of building that community at home.
Celtic heritage runs deep here in America.
A lot of Americans really crave connection in the Celtic world. A lot of the drive to come out to festivals like these is to celebrate family and to celebrate history. I, just as well as many of the patrons, love what I do because it helps connect me to my heritage.
It's important to support festivals like this because this is our heritage. You know, so many of us have been detached from it and we're trying to get it back, you know?
Without support, the culture just dies.
Celtic heritage is something that is very much alive. You think of it as something that's in the past, but it's very much alive and it happens at places like this. This is where people come and meet their clans.
Found my people here with the Lehigh Valley Scottish Society. They have become my core group of friends. I love engaging people on their history, really helping someone discover something that they didn't know about themselves or their family when they get here. It's really fun setting people off on a journey to discover their heritage.
Being able to help people with things that they didn't even know they needed help with. What's your name? And we start with that. Pull a book out, find a tartan, give them some identity. You give people identity that they didn't even know they were looking for.
Clan Buchanan Society International.
Clan McGillivray.
Clan Fraser Society North America.
The House of Gordon USA.
Family of Bruce.
Clan Scott Society.
Clan Donald.
For folk who have the tiniest possibility of a connection, that's what they're coming here for, to make that connection and hopefully build on it, you know, and be able to say, I'm part of it.
Connect with your roots.
Connecting to like a part of my family that I felt like I didn't really know about for the longest time.
There's a story as to why we're all here, and I'm fascinated with that story. How one thing led to the next, which led to us being here today.
I have Celtic and Scottish culture deep in my bloodlines. I've been researching it for 25 years. I met my second cousin for the first time in person in 25 years. We've been working on our genealogy together for 25 years, known each other on the phone and on the internet. I got to meet the man 2 weeks ago at a festival. And it's so meaningful to build those bridges, to discover common bonds.
Represent my country with pipes and drums is massive. It's probably the biggest honour that you could bestow upon me. I am a very patriotic man, so to be given this is massive.
You can really kind of connect with the people that are here. I mean, there's a gentleman over there from Glasgow. There's a good handful of Irish here.
My dad's family came from just outside Glasgow. My mom's family were McCarthy's from County Cork. And I grew up in a wee village called Lambeg, 10 miles from Belfast.
I celebrate my heritage by listening to the music and practicing the Gaelic language. It's hard to find people that will speak it with you, but I try. Aviel Gaelic akit? Do you have the Gaelic? You'd say, oh ha, a Gaelic akit. I have the Gaelic.
You kind of have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. Shared heritage that goes back to something almost magical. People want that ability to pull together for a reason, for a cause, for a collective, and I think that's what this gives them. We have lots of little kids that come up and we see them at front of stage. They're the ones that are going to continue with the heritage, continue with the history, continue with going to these festivals.
It's kind of
a big deal because everyone from around the valley comes and sees you, and everyone's just happy and feel like at home here.
I love seeing kids at my shows or at anyone's shows and watching their parents encourage them getting up and dancing around. I wish more adults would do that. Getting thrown right into the mix of celebrating culture at such a young age. I wish that I had found this community when I was that age, and I'm really grateful that parents are bringing their kids out and supporting that love that they're starting to develop on their own.
I love seeing families at the Celtic Festival because I never really had this experience growing up. I came from Alabama and there weren't as many Celtic festivals. So I love seeing children getting to walk around and see these things early, be inspired by musicians, maybe pick up instruments themselves, learn how to dance, stuff like that. It's great stuff.
We can encourage one kid to get into their heritage doing what we do. We've already won.
The Irish Dance School is out here performing. I think that's just so cool, getting like kids involved in the culture, in music, in just dressing up, or it's very enjoyable to see families come together over their heritage.
The families, when you see 3 and 4 generations with their kilts on.
Children and grandchildren pass it on. They get to feel the same excitement.
The joy of seeing little children bouncing about all over the place to bagpipes and drums, that's a beautiful moment.
They've got all this energy. They'll run up and just hug you. Those kids are the ones that are going to be continuing it.
We want Celtic love and community and culture to continue to grow and to invite more and more people.
There's lots of festivals out there, isn't there? But Celtic festivals are pretty special, you can bring the family, can't you?
See the whole spectrum of children all the way to elders as a woven tapestry, much like your kilts and the tartans.
Seeing everyone in traditional dress and whatnot, or just people that are just willing to participate, it always brings a smile to my face and a little warmth to the heart.
It's very warm and welcoming. Everyone's really happy to be a part of the culture and to share the culture, whether it's clothes, food.
Experience amazing bands, awesome music, just really neat experience overall.
The sense of community. It's so good to exchange views about who we are, what makes us special, what is different about us.
Everybody can be Scottish or Irish for a day. It's very festive. We're a good and open people. Anybody's going to have a good time at a Celtic Festival.
That we all grab somebody and bring them in to the fold. This is not a private party. It's a big one.
Friendly, inclusive, fun, very passionate group of people.
The thing that I'm most hopeful for the future of Celtic festivals is to just continue to grow the celebration, the participation, the people with their hearts in it, passing the kilt on each year and coming down with their grandparents that have been coming here for years.
Volunteer, get involved, lend a helping hand. I promise you're going to have fun and make new friends.
That Scottish in you, feel that Welsh in you, feel that Irish in you, and you can do that when you come to these festivals and surround yourself with like-minded people. You're Celtic. You have Scottish blood running through you. Be proud of it. Investigate it.
Very good.
Like you've done this before. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
I love seeing people wearing the same tartan as me. So if I'm wearing Buchanan or I'm wearing Campbell or something like that in my family tree, I'll look for those people and I'll be like,
It's
Yeah. I don't have any like dirt smears on my face, dust or anything.
No, I
That's
can
okay.
give you one if you want. You want some warm paint before
I'll
we
just get
start?
some wood.
There you go.
If I've got it on, I need to balance it out.
There you go.
We go to pretty much every Celtic festival we can find.
Whenever we find one, we go and we check it out. We like it, we go back. If we don't, we don't.
We
But
found some good ones. We've also ended up in ones that were like someone's backyard barbecue.
That
We
one
felt
was
very
fun.
out of place, so we had a drink and left.
Appreciate it. With the supper for your Gene.
Suffer. I like that.